Hello, welcome to MCFC9320 TV. How are you, folks? Oh, Riz, by the way, thanks for joining us on time tonight.
You're welcome. I had a bath this time a bit earlier, so I'm here now, nice and clean, with my pants on this time.
Relieved to hear it.
Prove it. Prove it.
The Man City short. No, the Man City shorts.
Don't prove it in case he's lying.
Yeah, good point. Well made.
Because it's under the watershed. It's not 9 o'clock yet.
Oh,
so
what happens, you see?
Fanta. Right.
When you get it.
Before we get into the internationals, did anybody see that?
Sound effects machine working then, Andy?
The what?
I thought you got your sound effects machine working.
I did with you then with a belch. So, anybody see the women's derby yesterday?
No.
Just highlights.
Absolutely brilliant game. Finished 2-2. However, I thought it was a little bit unlucky. Although we went down to 10 men in about a 30-something minute, Anne-Marie.
I mean, 10
Yeah.
women.
I mean, and to be fair, rightly so, we went
10
down
women.
to 10.
Sorry, Paul. Paul, he's absolutely right. Went down to 10 women, but gender neutral, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, and rightly so, we went down to 10 because it was a bad tackle. But we seemed to, once that happened, we seemed to start playing better. But
Was
what
it
I
a
didn't realise
red card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
suppose
just timed it.
It's worth it though, wasn't it?
Yeah. I didn't
Oh, yeah.
realise we had quite so many injuries in defence though till I watched us yesterday.
I know, but I just thought it was brilliant. Hemp, yet again, brilliant on the wing.
She's quicker, isn't she?
She's very good, mate.
Yeah.
We was unlucky not to score a few more yesterday, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, it's particularly after we scored the first one, we had a couple of really good chances, but we just couldn't put away. But I thought for a team that hadn't won for a while in the league, I thought we played really well.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just watching Spain nearly went 1-0 ahead then. Yeah, so there was just a chance just before half-time when we could have gone 2-0 up. I think if it would have gone 2-0 up, it would have been game over. But yet again, the Rags have not beat us in the WSL.
No, that's true, and we want to keep it that way if we can.
I just felt though watching it yesterday, there's not much inspiration from Gareth Taylor, is there?
There doesn't appear to be honest. And that it's disappointing.
He's got the personality of a dog with fleas.
Scratch you, itch you.
I think so. Anybody else see it? John, do you see it?
No, I didn't see him, mate.
I thought you was a proper City fan.
I am.
I listened to it. I went shopping yesterday, and I was sat in the car park at B&M Bargains, and we were winning 1-0. And then when I went in and came out, about 5 minutes later, we were getting beat 2-1. So
it's your fault.
It's my fault for not listening properly.
The story of your life, that though, to be fair, isn't it?
No, it's not. My teachers used to say that to me.
What? What?
Alex, did you see it? Did you see it yesterday? What was?
Did I see Riz?
Do I dare to ask what that is sticking up from the side of your ear, Alex?
Looks like a Bulgarian cyborg.
Yeah, it is that. It's a very local thing.
I've never seen them in Stockport.
How do you project your voice that far up to that microphone?
I use a different microphone that you cannot see at the moment.
He has an invisible one as well.
Yeah.
It's like the voice of the invisible
also
man.
local thing.
Have you
Like
been
talking
on
to
Fantasy
Tom Cruise
Formula
on
One?
Top Gun, isn't it?
So let's get back to the derby yesterday. As Anne-Marie said, there are a lot of injuries that we've got. But the effort what we put in was incredible. When it went to 1-1 and then 2-1 to the Rags, I thought it could get messy. This, but lo and behold, yeah, Leonora Messi. But when it went 2-1 and just that chance with that White got was proper goal scorer. She had a point to prove yesterday. Her first goal of the season, Anne-Marie.
It did, and she was on the bench as well, which was probably a surprise. Well, she came on off the bench, didn't she, to score?
All right.
Ass.
I was listening. I didn't see it, so I couldn't visualise it.
You listened to it though, so you knew where she was.
Off on the bench.
Go on, Anne-Marie. Just ignore it.
She was on the bench when I heard. I didn't hear her come off the bench.
But I thought she had it when she came on. She had an impact on the game. And we could have. I think we had a few chances. We could have been out of sight in the game. To be fair, but what I will say is that the whole standard of the game, even the red card challenge, which it was, she didn't make a meal of it. There was no kind of gathering around the referee demanding a red card or anything.
I'm just stopping Paul say, going into say when you're on about women and making a meal of it. Don't be sexist, Riz. Please.
I said nothing.
Yeah, don't dig yourself another hole.
No, still getting out the other one. No, I'd like to reiterate that because she, that if that had been a Premier League player, for a fact, he'd be rolling around on the floor. They'd be brandishing imaginary red cards. They'd be gathering round and be giving him loads of stick. It was, she didn't make a meal of it. There was no arguing. There's no nothing. He got on with it, and that was great to see. The men can take a bit from that. No,
absolutely. Just let's hope that kicks him on a little bit. I can't see it though under Gareth Taylor. Not that I want him to lose his job, but I just, as I said before, he's got the personality of a dog with fleas, in my opinion. He's not very good at motivating. But
speaking of women's football, it was quite a revelation seeing the England game with the women referees. That was a first.
The men's football.
Yeah.
John.
What?
What's the gender got to do with it? Why have you got to differentiate between a woman and a man? Don't it matter? A referee's a referee.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time it's happened.
Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And I think they did quite a good job, actually.
You know what? What was good for me was the fact that they didn't argue with her because it's embarrassing, isn't it?
You'd lose anyway. I find that in my house. It's pointless.
You wouldn't bother, would you? They didn't argue. The players didn't argue because they know who wears the trousers. It's a simple thing.
I wish you four had learned that.
Oh, we do.
What? Learn what?
Who wears the trousers?
To be fair, this is saying what I've always gone on, and it's true, and you might learn from this. Women, you can't live with them, and you can't live with them.
And my saying is, I wear the trousers in my house, and I've got her permission to say so.
Riz didn't last week.
No, he doesn't. I've caught him numerous occasions with a little frilly skirt on when I've popped round. He's there, swanning around.
No, that's me. That's my apron. That with nothing else on, just my apron.
I know.
Is that what they call it? Oh yeah. So yeah. Quite right. Let's get on to the England match last night. Foden, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he did. The actual commentators of the game didn't really give him much justice, but the people at half time, the pundits, they give him loads of credit, which was due. He played an absolute blinding game. Some of the passes, it's basically Kevin De Bruyne, but a younger version.
Wow.
Bodes well for our future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. To be fair, he's getting the praise for what he actually deserves. We can rant and rave about the media are anti-City and this, that, and the other, but they do always give Foden credit, and they'd be stupid not to anyway.
I think the commentators did, to be honest, Andy. I thought the commentators thought we're getting him mixed up with Sancho because he's kept going about this Sancho character, and
they look. Yeah. To be fair, they look a little bit similar.
Yeah.
What channels and ITV?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't agree. I think Sam Mcfc and Lee Dixon do a great job for ITV. Friends of the show.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I must get a different stream than you then, because
You get the Bulgarian one.
yeah, that's a problem. I think I was watching last year's game.
You must have been. All in all, you know, it wasn't a strong England side last night, but just Foden just head and shoulders above absolutely everybody on the park. It just looked very, very mature. You know, the most I've seen in centre midfield as well. So maybe that's one for Pep to ponder.
Well, for me, I think Foden can play in quite a few different places across that front 2 rows, basically. Like left wing, striker, all over the place. And that's probably down to the teaching of Pep.
Yeah. He's playing with the players. He's training with the players he plays with as well, isn't it? You know, you just learn when you're young. When you're young and willing, you learn like that, don't you? You learn from the players around you. And it shows, doesn't it? I mean, he was playing, he looked like the mature pro in that team last night, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he looked like the go-to player last night, and you know, and it's reaping the dividends in it.
And he got, you know, himself and Pep got a lot of, City should imagine, in all honesty, got a lot of criticism about, you know, Foden. He needed to go out on loan. It's quite laughable now, really. And Pep always knew that he would be drip feeding him in, and the best place to learn his trade is with them players, especially David Silva.
Yeah,
you know,
of course he did.
Because he is David Silva-esque now, in my opinion.
Was it Custis that said about him the classic quote about he's going to be sat on the bench for 6 years or something?
Yeah.
Say no more about Neil Custis.
Shows you what he knows about football, doesn't it?
He should change his name, and I'll be family friendly here, from Neil Custis to Wayne Kerr.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that his brother from Simple Minds, isn't it, Jim?
He has got a simple mind, to be fair.
And he's a fat body.
So is that food for Pep? You know, putting him down the middle?
Oh,
I think we
when
should
De Bruyne
experiment
goes,
with that.
you know, end of the day, De Bruyne's not getting. He's getting. I reckon we've only got a couple of years left with De Bruyne. So, I reckon so. He's 30 now.
Didn't he sign a new contract a couple
Hang
months
on.
ago?
There was somebody from Andorra last night who was 40 odd.
Yeah, he was a defender. It's a bit different.
Seen pulling hamstring.
Ronaldo's 36.
Yeah.
Look how fantastic he is.
Who's that?
Ladyboy plays for United.
Don't recognise him. Grealish, when he come on last night, he did in 20 minutes, won a penalty, or I should say he was fouled, not won a penalty, like the media like to say, and scored his first England goal, which was class. It was a bit like a City goal, wasn't it? Really, you know, straight from the keeper, straight to somebody up front, and boom.
Yeah, it was a good move, pass and move.
100 million.
Who's what, Alex?
100 million pounds.
100 million pounds.
Yep.
Bargain.
And worth every penny.
So I was just going to say that, John. How do you feel the way Grealish has settled in? Because let's not forget the transfer fee's not his fault; it's out of his hands. But how do you think he's handled it so far?
I think he's doing all right. He's not up to speed with us yet, and Pep will teach him that. And because his game's quite slow, so he needs to actually think about the next moves that he's going to make instead of just getting the ball and then looking around and trying to pass it through people and things like that. He needs to be a lot quicker. Once he gets his speed up, I think he'll be fantastic for us.
But when you say speed, are you on about speed as in physical speed?
No, speed as in mental speed.
Yeah, I was going to say he's never been the quickest anyway. It's the trickery what he's got. But
yeah,
if you was Raheem Sterling, you'd be a little bit worried, wouldn't you? Because what's next for Sterling? Because Grealish seems to have nailed the left-hand side. Gabriel Jesus, the right-hand side. You'd be a little bit worried if you Sterling, really, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
Sterling just needs to get his head down and sort his head out and get back to playing football the way he used to play. Instead of trying to pass a ball through people or just trying to, some of the things he tries, it just doesn't work. And
that's the problem. He needs to play on instinct rather than think about it. Because when he thinks about it, he's useless. Just let him get out. He just needs to just go out and express himself. And that's what I said to him. I just let him roam about. I gave him a free rein and let him roam around the front, the front of the attack.
He might go and sit on the bench though.
Again.
He might go and sit on the bench.
And Marie, does he need a fresh challenge somewhere else?
Possibly. For whatever reason, we're not, and we haven't done, I think, not just this season, but last season. I don't believe we've seen the best of Raheem Sterling. And I would agree that when he has time to think about things, he usually messes it up. If he gets through one-on-one and he's got time, he'll nearly always hit the keeper. So maybe it is time for a new challenge for him, because, you look at what we've got now. And I mean, you'd nearly say the same for Mahrez, because Mahrez isn't playing regularly because of the way Jesus is playing. So, I'm not convinced. I think if we got an offer good enough, I think we'd let Sterling go.
Do you agree with that, Alex? Do you think he needs a fresh challenge?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would be sorry to see him go, but I think he should definitely consider that, because things aren't improving for him at City.
And it's going to get more difficult, Riz, because although he's got to have some impact when he comes, because he's not got much game time at the moment. When he comes on, if he doesn't do something spectacular straight away, he knows he's not going to be starting the game after, so it's going to get more and more difficult for him.
And I always seem to think he needs to settle into a game a little bit, depending how he doesn't come off the bench great, I don't think. I might be wrong on that, but I just don't think he does. There's something not right there, isn't there? There's something not right in his head, I don't think. I don't know. Something's going on behind the scenes we don't know about.
I agree.
He's too up and down. He's too inconsistent. When he plays for England, he can have a great game, and then he plays for City, and he doesn't now. And I don't know whether something's going on at the club behind the scenes. I don't know, but he's certainly not the Raheem Sterling that we got to know a couple of years ago, when he was literally he was a first team name on the team.
Yep.
And he was undroppable, wasn't he?
So, John, Barcelona are touted about he won't go to Barcelona. They just about struggle to
they can't afford him
free.
I know Barcelona, Real Madrid, them kind of teams now, they just cannot afford him because they haven't got the money.
Because if the rumours are to be true, and we nailed on to get Haaland in the summer, someone's got to go.
Let him go to
It's
Dortmund.
him.
Let him go to Dortmund. Do a deal.
We certainly don't want him to go to another Premier League club, do we?
No. Well, I'm sure I'm sure Dortmund would take him as a deal for Haaland. I'm sure they would.
Mm.
And I think he'd probably thrive over there.
Yeah, it's a similar kind of league, and yeah, they've let Sancho go. If they let Haaland go, they will be in the market, for an attacking player. But like we was touching on Torres before, and this brings me into line really. What if Torres' preferred position is on the wing? That maybe that answers the question. Like we're all like that, put Torres down the middle, but if that's known to Pep as well, Pep's probably thinking, well, if you're not prepared to play down the middle, you're not going to get in the side, because Mahrez is playing okay when he comes in. Jesus is playing brilliantly. Who seems a first choice starter. Grealish on the left, with Foden there. So Torres is going down the pecking order. You'd think he'd want to go you know something, I'm not getting much game time. Put me down the middle.
Yeah. Well, he played down the middle for Spain, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's been doing well for Spain. You know, he's not got much of a sniff tonight. You know, it's at the moment. But I think early on in the season he was brilliant, Alex.
I agree. I think he definitely needs to get more game time, and especially in that position. I think he would be great for us. I think last season he actually played as a center forward and did well. You know, a couple of games, maybe more.
So, you know, it's maybe that's something Pep needs to draw out of him, Anne-Marie, because, like I say, he played brilliantly, in my opinion, anyway, for, start of the season. Even Enriquez is playing him down the middle for Spain, but Torres is coming out and saying, I want to play on the wing.
Yeah, what you want and what you end up doing are very rarely the same thing, though, are they? And I would agree with you. I think at the start of the season, he looked good for us.
How can he say he wants to play down the wing when he's a striker? Strikers don't play down the wing. Strikers play through the middle.
In a City team, we've not got a striker as such. We've not got a winger as such because they interchange that much. But I'm a great believer, whether it's football or not, if you want to get the best out of somebody, you've got to put them in the best position, whether it's football or any other walk of life for us.
Absolutely. If he wants to play, I always admired it if a player says, no, I'm not playing there. I'm a right winger, I'm a left winger, I'm a fullback. If somebody says that, then you kind of got to, accept it and put them in there. And if they do it, they do it. If they don't, you're saying, well, there you go. You've had your go, mate.
I'll give you an example. Milner, I'm leaving City. I'm going to Liverpool because I refuse to play fullback.
Yeah.
And he plays fullback.
Yeah, it is. It's play him in the best position to get the best out of him. But we're in a position now. We're fortunate because, where's Foden's best position now?
Everywhere.
Foden. Like you said earlier, though, our front six, they don't stay in them positions, do they? They go all over the place.
It's fluid, isn't it? It's a fluid front six.
Yeah. So there is no left wing, right wing striker, and it's just all over the place. But we just love watching it, don't we? Amazing to watch.
It is. I mean, because you see these, when they put the formations on the TV, and they go, "Oh, how do you think they're going to set up today?"
You can't tell with City.
You can't tell exactly. They just, that's old-fashioned. That's the old-fashioned way of looking at football. Well, you've got a diamond formation, you've got a Christmas tree, you've got you've got this 4-4-2. Who says you have to have that?
Burnley.
Because it makes it easier. We ain't got that.
No, you're absolutely right, mate. And it just
we've literally got attack and defence, haven't we?
So
yeah.
All right then. I'll put you all on the spot here. I'm going to go with Alex first. What's our best starting 11?
Oh.
Not again. Again.
No,
we went through this last time.
No, but I think it's evident because we've got that many players now who are all in form. Okay, then what's our best front six?
11, 16. Our best of 16.
No, our best
22.
Our best front six.
Jesus, Bernardo. I would say Torres.
That's a trick question now.
Yeah. Foden, Rodri, and Gundogan.
That's 12 you've just said to us.
Yeah.
That's a trick question because you said who's our best front six. We all know who the back four is. So you're just asking the same question you did before. Who's the best, starting 11?
No, because some people might say Stones is better than Laporte.
Like me. I'm still hopeful.
Because it is difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good position for Pep to be in. But at the moment, you might think I'm mad, but De Bruyne is not a starter for City for me.
I didn't mention him.
I'd agree with that.
You agree?
Fortunately.
I agree with it because he's going off current form. He's been our, and I can't believe I'm saying it, he's been our worst player, I would suggest, over the last 2 or 3 games.
I did say against Liverpool, although he did score, he was probably our weakest player against Liverpool.
Yeah, he was a passenger against Liverpool.
But then he goes on international duty and he's been on fire there. But we can only go on club form. I think against Burnley he's on the bench.
Depends if Gundogan's okay or not. If he's not, then he'll be starting.
Regardless whether Gundogan. Regardless whether Gundogan's fit or not, you've got to go with that form with Foden down the middle, Grealish on the left, Jesus on the right, and another down the middle. I would go for either Torres or even Sterling down the middle though. I really would.
I think at the moment who's our shoe-in for starting every game at the moment, and that's Rodri.
Yeah.
These last few games, he's been immense. He's been absolutely fantastic.
I think he's been brilliant since he joined us, to be fair. I can't understand some of the criticism he has got from fickle from some City fans.
No, there's some games he's given the ball away and things like that, and it caused a goal. But these last few games, he's been amazing. That clearance against Liverpool, still can't get over that. How clinical that was.
Oh, get over it. It was so last year
That was as good as a goal.
It was it and all, wasn't it? He just slid in with his eyes shut, hoping for the best.
It was, but as I say, I'm a Rodri fan. He's got a lot of criticism from City fans, and it's left me pulling my hair out. Really.
Speaking of criticism, I know we're going back to the ladies' football, but the girl that got sent off, apparently she got loads of abuse on social media.
Yeah, apparently she did. Yeah.
She came out on Twitter and said about it.
She's a proper City fan. She's a proper City fan as well.
Why? Why give them abuse?
Social media, isn't it? It's just
people feel no responsibility when they write things online.
Proper keyboard warriors.
That's where me and Paul have this thing that everybody should have a blue tick. Shouldn't they, Paul? They should be verified.
Well, I've been championing that for ages. Don't leave me out.
You're not told us that bit. Me and Paul have said this for years.
Obviously, you don't listen to podcasts. What we do then, do you?
No, because I'm always in them.
Yeah.
You must remember what we talk about. I'm saying that.
Oh.
But yeah, I've been championing that for absolutely ages. Everybody should be verified.
Every account should be verified.
And celebrities like Riz should have a gold tick.
You're right there. Very, very right. Very, very correct and true in that. I tried getting a blue tick for my account and they won't let me have it because I don't talk enough about my garage. Because just talking about football, that's what they said. They got back with me and said you've not been successful. I thought
you had a tick.
Yay.
That's Tourette's he's got.
No, but I do, and that is the only way to combat it. Just get this absolute scum who just slaughter everybody on Twitter. You know, it's different having banter and stuff like that, but the ones who are absolutely vicious, just get rid of them. But Twitter won't though, will they? Because it's a money making thing.
You see so many people now that have got like 10 followers. And they've normally got SZN. They've got SZN on the thing, and then they're on there going, please hook me up with City fans or hook me up with. And you're just thinking, like, just wait.
It's not the ones they're trying to hook me up on. All the private messages I get through there.
Yeah, well, that's dodgy though, isn't it?
No, but joking apart, something must be done. I wouldn't mind all celebs who were getting abused just go, something, delete. Why should I bother with social media? Rodri, he don't bother with social media. John Stones don't bother with social media. So they don't have to be. They don't have to be on there. You know, it's not as if they're trying to get sponsors to get rich or anything like that.
No, true.
No.
It's a
Right.
shame though. It should be, if you want to go on there, you should be able to go on there, shouldn't you?
If they wanted to, they could in a disguise, couldn't they? You know, if they really wanted to.
Some of them do.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
I think a lot of them do. I think a lot of them are, you know, the genuine article, and they're under different names, so they can just, you know, freely go about the business if they
No,
like.
you're right, because I know somebody who's got a garage and he never talks about his garage. He just talks about something else. So it's a curveball.
Exactly. I think I know.
Does he sponsor a podcast?
Yeah, he sponsors the podcast with along with Aquagas and Bowen's Pies. Bowen's Pies, they're the best pies on the planet.
I'm glad you brought Bowen's Pies up. I still haven't received my free samples yet.
Have you asked Paul, who owns Bowen's Pies? Fantastic pies. I will be having one on Saturday. I might even have two.
Why have you got some?
Hey,
At the game.
you know the pies you have at the game?
Yeah.
The Bowen's
They're
Pies.
Bowen's pies.
No way.
Yes, they are.
What, that chicken balti?
Yeah.
Chicken balti pie
Oh,
and the steak.
And he sponsors the show, Paul. Paul Bowen.
I know that.
Pies.
I know that. And I'm waiting
Pies
for my
of the
samples.
champions.
So if
Hey.
I go, I'm in block 111. So if I go on the concourse there and say, Paul from Bowen Pies has sent me to collect me free samples, will that be all right, you think?
Yes.
Good. Can you get
Yeah.
him to write a letter for me?
Can you video this when you do it?
Oh no, it's Burnley, innit? I got thrown out last time against Burnley. I'm not doing it again.
Well, right, boys and girls.
Move on.
We've got to move on and finish on Newcastle. Great.
I do not wish them well. Like some people say on social media, I don't care.
No, and let's not forget there was one of the nine. Who
Yeah,
won,
there was one of the nine.
Yeah, so all I've seen in various city groups this week on social media is, oh, well done the Geordies. Not well done the Geordies. No, instead of punching horses, they're going to start punching camels, aren't they?
You know what I think? You know what I think is really funny? I think the fact that because I've welcomed the fact that all this money's come to him, because it's going to prove that it's not just about having loads of money. You've got to spend it. You've got to be able to attract players into the club.
Yeah.
We're not just mercenaries. It's not, you can have all the money in the world and it's not that easy. And I'm so looking forward to watching this because
Yeah.
you're going to prove how
'Cause
hard it is.
City have done it
Absolutely.
City have done it absolutely perfect, haven't they?
Yeah.
The way they've done it is perfect, and they've built it up slowly, and
Yeah.
they've brought things in and brought other clubs in, and it's just amazing what they've done.
You think about it, it's took us 10 years to get to where we are.
Yeah, and they haven't just affected the club, they've affected our whole area.
The
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's see.
The only one thing I'm gutted, I wish it would have been Sunderland instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Everton, because Everton was one of the clubs who didn't vote against us.
Yeah, Everton's got the money now. They've got big owners.
Hmm.
They're just not
Maybe
spending the
West
money.
Ham.
But with Newcastle, no, I don't wish them well. That's not being bitter or anything. It's just karma's going to come back to bite them on the backside now because financial fair play. How are they going to get round with all this investment now? They've got the new owners with money, but it's not as if they can go out and spend 500 million in January to get whoever they want.
Of course they can. Their
No,
owners
they
won't bother.
can't. They reckon they can only spend at the most in January 190 million to get round financial
Look,
fair play.
Their owners are different than our owners. Their owners will just go out and shoot whoever they want. Whoever argues against them, so they're fine.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And all the reporters will be nice as pie to them because of what they do to reporters.
Oh yeah, they ended up in suitcases, don't they, or something?
They do.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
That's even better then. That's even better because I can think of a few you'd get. I mean, you need some big suitcases. 'cause they've
Massive
got-
suitcases for Custis, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Oh,
would
no.
be a shame though to see them get all this money and then get relegated, wouldn't it?
It'd be absolutely,
I'd love it.
it'd be absolutely terrible. No, I've not got any affection or anything for Newcastle because of what they've done. I do think they'll go for Mancini though as a manager, but I think that'll possibly, if they survive relegation this season,
That will implode.
They'll try to do the City model because they're already saying now, oh, they want to invest in the area, la di da di da di da. Listen, have your own, have your own infrastructure, do what you want, but don't start trying to tag us in. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. I just think it's very, very hypocritical of them. And do you know something? I hope they do get relegated.
Will be funny.
It'll be really funny here.
They need a whole new squad, don't they? They need a whole new squad. There's not players in that squad that would attract anybody to want to come and play with them either. So, you've literally got to get yourself mercenaries. You've got to do what we did when we got
Paul Merson won't come out of retirement.
Oh, he would for the right amount of money. I'm sure he would.
Of course they would. They will go for everybody in sight. They really will. I can't blame them in that respect. But I forget who said it now a few minutes ago. Attracting them to Newcastle is not like trying to attract them to say a Manchester or a London and stuff like that. They're proper out in the sticks in Newcastle. It's not going to be like under the Keegan era. Saying that, in years gone by, players were signing for Kevin Keegan and not necessarily Newcastle. But them days have gone.
In a way, but it all depends who they get in as manager. And what I would love for him to do is go for Klopp.
What, so I can hate him even more?
Oh, yeah. Look, imagine the Liverpool fan.
Hey, because Hendo Henderson, he's a Mackham, isn't he? He'd be going back home.
No, because Mackham is Sunderland, not Newcastle.
No, but it's that neck of woods.
Yeah, that way.
He's used to it cold, isn't he? Oh, yeah. Gazza would be out again, won't he, bringing his sandwiches? Perfect.
But, I've dodged a little bit of social media this week since the takeover. And again, that's not just through jealousy. Well, it's not going to be jealousy, is it, with what's, what we've got as a club. But I'm just, it's like the media, like pro Newcastle, get investment. But when it happened to us, it was just totally against us.
You just wait. You just wait until they start beating your Uniteds and the Liverpools. Once they start taking points off the hierarchy, they'll turn. Trust me, mate. This is why I'm loving it. I can't wait. I sound like Kevin Keegan now, don't I?
I just love it.
I love it.
It was like Alex looks like Keegan. I love it. Well, saying that, Newcastle are crap at rubbish, and they're still taking points off United anyway. So,
you know what I mean? Newcastle are like we were, aren't they? Where we're everybody's favourite team, aren't they? They all felt sorry for us, and aren't they great fans? These 50-odd thousand of them. Oh, they've had Mike Ashley. Oh, it's terrible, terrible. They're all that. So there's quite a few things like City were in the past. But now they've got all this money, and then all of a sudden, everybody else will realise how difficult and what a fantastic job City's owners have done. It's not. We've not just bought the league overnight, because Newcastle won't be able to buy the league overnight. It's going to take years and years and years. Probably 7 or 8 years, I would guess.
Centuries.
There's no way they'll just be able to go straight in and say buy a Haaland. Not a chance, because first and foremost, for players to be interested, they're wealthy enough anyway now. All they want is to play in things like the Champions League and stuff like that. So attracting them in, say, finishing 12th in the league and stuff like that, you're not going to get that top player signing for him. So I agree with you, Riz. It is going to be very, very difficult and quite long, in my opinion, because longer, you know, unless you've got a, excuse me, a Guardiola, where players will come and sign because they want to play for Guardiola. Guardiola's established. If you get somebody like even a Klopp or something like that, it's okay. I'm going to Liverpool to play for Klopp, but going to Newcastle, if Klopp was at Newcastle, for instance, that's totally different. I can't see it happening.
It's not. I mean, again, this is no disrespect to Newcastle, but you can see why. You know, City had problems signing players at first because everybody wanted to go to the capital. One, it's a little bit warmer, and the nightlife and all the razzmatazz and all the rest of it. Newcastle, it's a bit dark, isn't it? You know what I mean? And again, I'm not slagging Newcastle off. I'm just being realistic that how
they've got Ant and Deck.
Well, there you go. You know,
Cheryl Cole.
They might offer him a free sort of night on the show or something, or you don't
And
know.
Nuki Brown.
They could be on the end of the show.
They could be. They could be.
That could be the enticing thing.
So yeah,
I think the likes of Nuno could join them. That level of manager.
Who knew?
Nuno.
I think what will happen is Zlatan Ibrahimovic will go and play up there.
Yeah, you'll get that. You'll get them mercenary type players who, start rather than go to China, they'll go there.
Yeah,
quite similar though.
On £1 million a week.
Yeah,
well, they can't. That's the point, John. They can't spend that much money.
They can.
You
should rob them for Sterling.
Because UEFA won't go after them because they're not in the Champions League at first.
That's it, and that's my point. They won't get that top line player because they want to play in the Champions League. Because the difference between, say, a player earning, say, 300 grand a week and 400 grand a week, it's the equivalent of 10p to us. You know, so it with all the sponsorship and stuff like that.
You're going
to just the money
to move there. You're going to leave the weather to go to lovely Newcastle. You're not, are you? Let's be realistic. You know, when you've got all the money you could ever want, are you really going to be playing your trade? Would you want to go if you lived in sort of like a really sunny climate? Are you going to move up sticks with your wife and your family to go to Newcastle for an extra £40 a week? Because that's in relative terms what it'd be to them.
Yeah.
Are you?
I just see it being a bit of a like the media will run away with it now and be, you know, how wonderful this takeover is. They'll give the likes of City a run for the money, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. But in real terms, Anne-Marie, it's going to be a long, long road for him, and it's not guaranteed.
No,
it's not guaranteed at all.
Because you know, as we know, and if you look at our neighbours down the road, you can buy all the players you want, the most expensive players in the world, but it doesn't mean they're going to make a good team.
Perfect point. You've got to get them knitting and playing together.
Absolutely.
And it took us, you know, it started when we signed players like George Weah, didn't it? You know, we signed players like George Weah to basically, and Robinho, to try and entice and put us on the map. That's the sort of thing that we started to do. And that's what Newcastle's going to have to do to start with. So it's not, you know, it's been going on for years at City, trying to get to where we are. It's not just happened when this new takeover happened. It's been going on.
It took us 4 years to win the league, didn't it? It took us 3 years to win our first cup.
You've got to get them. You've got to get a club to gel and to change its mentality. Everything's got to change, and that isn't going to happen.
So what are they going to change their club name to then, I wonder?
Oh.
Is it going to be
United? Don't know. Will they change the name?
New United.
Newcastle
Get rid of the castle.
The Camel Club. I'm sure a few of them will have the hump over that.
Tell you what, though, I have seen a lot of the media today. A lot of the media on Twitter have been giving him a lot of stick about the human rights and stuff like that, which is very hypocritical, knowing that they'll all be going to World Cup on the prawn sandwiches and what have you, and all the freebies.
Oh, yeah.
and stuff.
That's media all over, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm sat there now with the Michael Jackson eating popcorn emoji. That's how I feel. I'm just
The
waiting.
best thing about this takeover is that I've not seen City mentioned in a bad way for about a week now since it actually happened.
I love us being hated, me.
I get fed up of it.
I don't. I love it. You
It
know,
does my head.
when the media and other fans used, you know, when we became rich, used to slaughter us. It used to really annoy me. Now I find it quite funny because I just get to say, it's all right. You just keep topping up and paying for our transfer, Kitty.
Yeah. Keep queuing up at the petrol stations.
Thing is, when they look at our team now, they know they can't say anything about the actual football or anything like that, or the success we've had. The only thing they can say is, "Oh, you've bought it." But to play like we do, it takes more than money. It takes a lot more than money.
We're going to prove. We're going to have proof of that with Newcastle now.
Yeah,
we'll prove it. We'll be able to sit back.
We'll see how it should be done and how they can do it.
Yeah.
But and they got the best fans in the world.
No, Sunderland have.
It's Sunderland. Will
Yeah.
Sunderland now become Newcastle fans? You know, like all us used to be Chelsea fans.
Liverpool are the best fans in the world, aren't they?
Can you imagine the tourists going to Newcastle, flying in from abroad? They'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
So yeah, I just wanted to touch on Newcastle because I can just see it. I can see it being laughable in all honesty because they can't copy the model what City have done. You know, I don't care if their owners are 100 million times richer than ours. It's more about money. It's the right manager, the right people behind the scenes, and that's one big plus we had. We had, you know, the likes of Varane and, you know, and the rest of them, which enticed the likes of the Yaya Toures, the Pep Guardiolas, and that ilk. They've not got that connection because people are, okay, our owner's only been to one match, which was the Liverpool match, but it just shows no interfering. Can you see that from a Newcastle regime? Because even Abramovich at Chelsea always interferes. Can
you imagine, right?
We've got football people behind us.
The manager gets a call. The big boss wants to see you. He'd be thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to die."
Yeah, I want you to chop and change. What?
Yeah.
Me or the team? Chop and change your team. That brings a new meaning to that one, doesn't it?
No, it's going to be. I think we should, as City fans, embrace it, and because it will definitely go in our favour. This takeover definitely go in our
definitely.
favour.
I agree with that.
I agree. So that's really it, guys. Unless anybody else has got anything.
No. Looking forward to getting back to football, proper football at weekend.
Yeah, finally.
Just one thing from me though, John. What are the pink and blue balloons for?
My daughter did a gender reveal today.
Well, you just said it's your daughter.
Your daughter, we know that.
She's pregnant.
Well, you didn't say that. She had a gender reveal. My daughter.
So we've
My
had
God,
a
John,
thing
you
today, and
used
she
you used to put nappies on it. Surely you know what she is.
Oh, she's not been born yet. Come on.
Well, your daughter's
Think
not
about
been
it.
born yet. Jeez.
My daughter is pregnant,
Right.
and we found out today that she's having a boy.
Oh, that's
The only
good.
problem with that is her other half's a United fan,
That's
but she's sworn blind to me it will grow up a City fan.
well. Just let your Uncle Riz come round and have a chat with a boyfriend. That's probably the best way to do it.
You won't have a word. I'll sort it out, don't worry.
We'll take him away and have a word with him.
Yeah. Just tell him the moors is quite nice this time of the year.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations anyway, mate.
Well done, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I've got 2 grandchildren already, but they're both girls, and I'm finally glad it's a boy.
Why? He's sexist.
No. I want a boy for a change. Too many girls in this family, mate.
We started
I
off.
have said that about you, John.
Listen, we started off the show. We started off the show with you being sexist, and it looks like we're going to finish the show. You being sexist.
At least it's not me this week. It was me last week you were picking up.
Yeah.
It's my turn next week.
Oh, we
Yeah,
know
that's
you're
fine.
sexist. All sexist then Bulgarians.
Yeah, this
Anne-Marie,
is a sign.
Anne-Marie, how'd you cope with these?
I don't know, but as we said on between ourselves last week, I feel like I'm the grown up with the Muppets.
So if we are Muppet, which one is John?
Fozzie,
What's that?
Fozzie Bear.
Fuzzy Bear.
What about Riz? What about Riz?
You know them two blokes sat up
Miss
in that,
Piggy?
Yeah,
I
I think that two
cubicle.
blokes, Mulder and Sattler, and I think that's what
That's the one.
Andy and Riz are.
Yeah.
I know who Alex is.
Go on.
Alex is thinking, who are the Muppets?
Yeah.
Animal.
They don't have them in
Animal.
stock.
Oh, he's Beaker.
Yeah.
I'll have to Google that.
Beaker, or what's he called him?
It's
The
well
chef.
worth a Google.
The chef with a chicken.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay?
Oh.
No.
So, unfortunately, though, that makes Anne-Marie. I can only think of one kind of female character.
Leave Miss Piggy
Don't go
alone.
there, Paul. Don't go there.
Leave Miss Piggy alone.
Was Snuffleupagus? That was Sesame Street. That wasn't it?
Big
So
bird.
different.
On that note, guys,
On that
Great.
bombshell.
great catching up with you again, and we'll do it all again next week.